Content discovery. Content discovery is a process of identifying resources in a specific asset. For this lesson, we will identify assets that are accessible publicly, we will profile the technologies being used in the asset, and we will enumerate the directories and files in the asset. For the tools, we will use the following tools enumerated on this slide. Now, let's move on into the next video. Content discovery, HTTP probing using HTTPX. HTTPX is a tool created by Project Discovery which allow to run multiple probers using the retriable HTTP library in Go programming language. This tool will help us identify assets that are still accessible or not accessible. You may visit the GitHub repository of this tool at github.com/projectdiscovery/httpx. You may also follow the installation steps on this slide to install the tool in your machine. In the next video, I will demonstrate the following HTTPX commands. For this demonstration, we will use the output file from Subfinder tool together with HTTPX tool to determine which assets are still accessible or not. So, to run the HTTPX tool with the output file from Subfinder, we will use the following command. So, we use HTTPX and added an option named -list and specify our output file from Subfinder. And for each assets inside the output file, we will try to retrieve the title, the technologies, and the status code. So let's run the command and let's see what happened. Okay, it's done. As you can see, it checks every asset listed in the file. It tries to get the status code and informs us if the certain asset is accessible or not by its status code. If it's returning 200, it means it is accessible. If 302, 307, or 301, it means it is accessible but it is redirecting us to another resource. But if the asset is returning 404, it means that the page is not found. That's why the title of the asset is 404 not found. So as just mentioned, it returns the title. It also returns the technologies being used for a certain asset. Okay, now we can also combine a Subfinder tool directly with HTTPX to probe each discovered asset. We can use the following command, but let me clear the terminal first. So let me paste it here. So we can use the following command: subfinder-d our target in silent mode and pass every discovered asset to HTTPX tool with the same option as before. So let me run the tool once again and let's see what happened. Okay, it's actually the same thing. Every discovered asset is being probed by HTTPX. It fetches the status code, it returns the title, and the technology is being used for certain assets. So let's wait for it to finish. It might take some time because there are a lot of assets for our target, which is Tesla.com, but it is already done, as you can see. Now, with HTTPX, we can also probe IP addresses using the following command. So let me clear the terminal and paste this command. So we have a subnet 24 of this IP address 209.123.79, and we will pipe every accessible IP address in subnet 24 to HTTPX with the following options. So let me run the command once again, and as you can see, it checks for HTTP and HTTPS service for the IP address and return the title, the technology, and also the status code for each asset. So here we can validate that HTTPX is pretty useful when it comes to probing all the assets under the scope of our target. So if you have like 100 or 8,000 of assets that you need to check for your target organization, you can use the HTTPX to make it more quicker than browsing the list of assets manually in with your browser. So that's it. That's HTTPX. But if you want to add more options than title, tech detect, and status code, you can do that by checking HTTPX-H, which means help, and it will give you more options under the probes section. So you can use content length if you want to retrieve the length of the page. You can use server if you want to retrieve the server of a specific asset. There's also content type and response type, location, method, CNAME, CDN, WebSocket, and many more. So yeah, that's HTTPX. Content discovery, visual identification using Aquatone. Aquatone is a tool for visual inspection of websites across a large number of hosts or assets, and it is convenient for quickly gaining an overview rather of HTTP based attack surface. In other words, this tool will quickly help us in checking the content of each asset. To view or access the GitHub repository of this tool, you may visit github.com, then missionriksen/aquatone. And for you to install the tool, you may follow the instruction on this slide. So you need to download Google Chrome first on your Linux system. You need to install it, of course, then go to the releases of Aquatone and download the compressed file for Linux system and unzip it and move it wherein it should be part of the path that is set for your Linux system. Then after that, you may now run the tool with the list of target assets. In the next video, we will demonstrate the tool called Aquatone. For this demonstration, I already run the command for Aquatone tool by supplying the file containing the list of assets of our target. Then I pipe it with Aquatone tool that will check for ports 80, 443, 8000, 8080, 8443, which are set by default with Aquatone tool. And if it detected that the port is open and accessible, it will take a screenshot. So since I already ran the command, I will just scroll down and show you the outputs of this tool. So it took me some time actually, so I just pre-run everything and explain to you the tool. So it actually detected some port 80 open, some port 443 open, some are not actually accessible. It returned request timeout. And below, once everything is done with the checking of ports per asset, it will now take some screenshots. So this screenshots is actually accessible by going to the folder and opening the aquatone underscore report.html file. So here, there are some blank pages. There are some pages containing some information about the website. So this is the objective of Aquatone. We don't need to manually visit each asset. We can use Aquatone to automatically screenshot every asset and check it using our browser by running the Aquatone tool. So here, apps.tesla, it contains login page. Billing, it contains the billing page with please log in text. There are some landing pages for other asset, and a lot more. If we go back to the terminal, it actually screenshot 91 assets. It failed 100 times, but everything is under aquatone underscore report.html. So that's it. That's the aquatone. It will help you quickly check each asset without manually visiting each asset. Content discovery technology profiling. Technology profiling is a process of finding software technologies connected in a specific target asset. Software engineers or programmers uses different technology stack when building the application, and those technology stack could possibly contain vulnerabilities. The creator of some technologies are constantly updating their technologies. Some of the updates might contain security related update that you need to make sure that you update the tool so that you won't be like affected by certain vulnerabilities that could possibly make your application vulnerable. So for technology profiling, we will be using two websites, which are Built With and Wapalizer. So in the next video, I will show you those two websites. Okay, for this demonstration, we will be using Built With and Wapalizer websites to detect the software technologies being used in our target domain or asset. So our target is, of course, Tesla.com. So let's try to add Tesla.com here and click the lookup button, and it will return us the list of technologies for Tesla.com. So they are using Akamai Impulse, which is a multi-channel real-time analytics software. They have Google Optimize 360, marketing system, which is Foresight, Crazy Egg. They also have Google Analytics. They have a background widget because Tesla is allowing security researchers to find vulnerabilities on their websites through background platform. They also have some third-party service, LogMeIn, Zapier, Okta, and even Twitter. And other technologies connected to the website Tesla.com. So basically, Built With is just showing all the technologies being used in the website Tesla.com. Now, let's visit Wapalizer and do the same thing. Supply our target, which is Tesla.com, and click this result right there. And it will also give us the result. So earlier in Built With, okay, we haven't seen that Tesla.com is using Drupal, but here for Wapalizer, it give us a detail that Tesla.com is actually a content management system which uses the Drupal CMS. It has a e-commerce cart functionality function, something. It has a Sentry service. It is built with PHP because Drupal CMS is built with PHP. They have Varnish for caching. They used Nginx for their web service or web server rather. They have some JavaScript libraries or frameworks or stuff. They also used Akamai for their CDN and analytics for analytics, of course, and other stuff. So basically, both built with and Wapalizer is just returning us the list of software technologies being used in our target asset. So that's built with and Wapalizer. Content discovery fuzzing using FFUF. FFUF stands for Fuzz Faster You Full. It is a tool for web enumeration, fuzzing, and directory brute forcing. This tool is actually pre-installed already in Kali machines. And the following commands is the commands that I will demonstrate to you in the next video. In the previous video, I showed you the list of FFUF commands to fuzz the directories, files, and parameters. In this video, I will show you the result of those commands. So, it might take some time if I record myself and showing you from the start on how to use FFUF. So I pre-run everything, and it took me like 5 to 10 minutes to finish everything. So to brute force the directories of our target asset or website, we can use this following command. So first, call the tool, of course, FFUF. We need to call the option -u and specify our target website or asset. We use -c to make a colorized result or output. We need to specify our word list -w, and the word list actually. So we used a small version of Durbuster's directorial list. So after running the command, we're able to identify some directories in our target website or asset. So we found images, CGI-bin, admin, pictures, templates, flash, CVS, Ajax, secured. And if we want to fuzz or brute force some files in our target website or asset, we can use the same command but add or append additional option which is -e, which means extension, and specify our preferred file extension. So I run the command already, and we were able to get some files with that PHP file extension. So the result gave us login.php, product.php, disclaimer, sign up, admin, categories, comment, and many files with that PHP extension. So in the next command, we tried to fuzz and look for parameters under the discovered file name showimage.php. So in fuzzing the files, we found showImage.php, and we use that file to look for parameters. We used another word list called parameters.txt, and we filtered the words to remove all results with at least two words. Because if we do that, or if ever we don't do that, rather, it will show us like all the results with false positive parameters. So I did that by adding the -fw2, and it only show or give us the positive result, which is file parameter. So meaning, when we executed the command, the showImage.php has a parameter called file, and we can use that and look for vulnerabilities. Alright, so these are the sample commands for ffuf. So for directory enumeration or brute forcing, we can use this command. For files, we need to specify the extension. For the parameters, we need to specify the target file name, and also use the variable fuzz to fuzz the parameters for this file name. Okay, so this is the ffuf tool. Content discovery, URL extraction using GAU. Get all URLs, or also known as GAU, fetches known URLs from Alien Vault's Open Threat Exchange, the Wayback Machine, and Common Crawl for any given domain or target domain. You can visit this tool on GitHub at github.com/lc/GAU. In this slide, you can see the installation steps to properly install the tool in your machine. For the commands, we will be using the following sample commands in our next video. In the previous video, I showed you the commands for the GAU tool. Now, I will show you the results for those commands. So I already executed the GAU tool with our target domain or asset, which is tesla.com, and the tool fetches all the URLs available in the sources I mentioned in the previous video. So as you can see here, we received or discovered a lot of URLs. Now, we can also pipe the tool with grep and look for specific results. Here, I use the tool with grep to look for URLs with .php file extensions. So as you can see here, I discovered some results with interesting URLs that might be vulnerable to some cybersecurity attacks. If you want to further check this tool, you may run the tool GAU with -h option and check other available options. So as you can see here, there are some interesting options like -subs, which includes subdomains aside from the target domain tesla.com. It could use the tool to get all URLs in other subdomains of our target domain. You can also output everything into a file, or etc. So this is the GAU tool. Content discovery, endpoint extraction using Link Finder. Link Finder is a Python script written to discover endpoints and their potential parameters in JS files. So you can visit the tool on GitHub at github.com/gerbenhavado/linkfinder. You can also see the installation steps and how to run this tool on this slide. So you just clone the tool, go to the folder, and execute sudo python3 setup.py install to install the tool. And for the fourth step, you can just copy the sample, and it will now look for endpoints and parameters in the specified target.js file. In the next video, I will show you the result for that command. Let's say your target website has a JavaScript file and you want to extract the endpoints from the file. We use the link finder tool to help us extract those endpoints. So the following command will extract the endpoints in the JS file of hacker1.com, which is our target for this demonstration. So let's execute it and see the result. Okay, as you can see, it opens a browser containing the highlighted endpoints. This tool, link finder, is useful if we want to look for some internal endpoints that might be vulnerable to some cybersecurity attacks. So as you can see, there are some internal endpoints like handle integrations ID, which is a legit endpoint rather for our target hacker1.com that is stored in this JavaScript file. Content discovery, parameter discovery using param spider. Param spider is a Python script written to discover parameters in a target domain or asset. You can visit this tool on GitHub at github.com/devansh.ham/paramspider. You can also see the installation steps on this slide and how to run it properly. So just clone the tool, go to the folder, install the requirements using pip3 command, and run the tool using python3 paramspider.py and specify your target domain. In the next video, I will show you the result for the command and how to use this tool. For paramspider demonstration, we will target test.php.vulnweb.com. Let's execute the command and see what will happen. As you can see, the tool returned URLs with interesting parameters, and we can test these URLs and look for potential security vulnerabilities. So basically, paramspider is using Python 3, and when targeting a certain domain or asset, we need to specify the option --domain. If you want to know more about this tool, just run the tool with -h option and check for other available options or arguments. So we can actually look for subdomain as well, I guess, because there's a subs for -s option. We can also exclude some file extension, and we can also write the output of the command into a file. So that's paramspider. Open source scanners. Scanners are tools used to scan the target asset and identify potential vulnerabilities. For this one, we'll be using the following tools enumerated on the slide, such as WP Scan for WordPress, Joom Scan for Joomla, Drup Scan for Drupal, CMSIC, and Nuclei. In the next video, we will start with WP Scan for WordPress. WP Scan. WP Scan is a black box WordPress vulnerability scanner that can be used to scan remote WordPress installation to find security issues. So this tool is pre-built already on Kali machines, and you can run it by executing WP Scan with the option --URL and specify your target asset. For the demonstration in the next video, we will be using the damn vulnerable WordPress created by Vav Camille. So in the next video, we will do demonstration for WP scan tool. Okay, for WordPress WP scan tool demonstration, we have here a vulnerable WordPress instance. It is called damn vulnerable WordPress, and we already scanned it using the WP scan. So you can use the WP scan tool by executing the following commands. So the option that is required is --URL, and you need to specify your target asset. And once the command is executed, it will now start the scanning. So basically, it will check for interesting findings such as headers, files, the README file of the WordPress, and other sort or files. And you can also see here that it is also detecting the current version of the WordPress. For this one, the current version is 5.3. And they also detected the theme used by this WordPress instance, which is 2020, which is also out of date as specified by the WP scan tool. Then the important thing about WP scan is it is detecting or identifying the list of plugins installed on the target WordPress website. So as you can see here, it identified social warfare plugin, it identified W advanced search, W file upload. So you can pick any of those as long as they are, or the tool is saying that the version is out of date, because in cybersecurity, if there's a third-party plugin tool or third-party services integrated to the website or target application, they might be vulnerable to some kind of vulnerability. So for this one, let's try to copy this. Then we can go and visit wpscan.com, and on the search field, just paste the name of the plugin, and we will try to look for vulnerabilities with this plugin. So as you can see, let me go back to the WP scan tool. The WP Advanced Search plugin is currently out of date. The latest version is 3.3.7, but the WP Advanced Search on our target website is version 3.3.3, meaning it is vulnerable to unauthenticated access and remote code execution, and potentially this too as well. So we can, if you are trying to exploit the vulnerable website, you can now use this exploit or details. There's a POC here, and just follow it, but be careful when executing it. Make sure to read it first and try to understand what it does. Then you can use it on your target website. So that's it. That's the normal usage and demonstration of WordPress. But aside from that, it will also look for configuration backups, and it will also look for, I guess, the list of users. Actually, if you check the list of options by executing wp scan-h, it will give you a list of usage or commands that you can use or options that you can use for this tool. So you can enumerate vulnerable plugins, all plugins. It might take some time. Popular plugins, the themes, vulnerable themes, all themes, popular themes, config backups. You can enumerate them all. You can also enumerate the users. Okay, you can enumerate users. You can also do some plugins detection by mode. You can do passive, you can do aggressive or mixed, and you can specify the list of username and password if you want to brute force the login for the WordPress target WordPress installation or target WordPress application. So basically that's it. You can study it more by executing WP scan tool in your Kali machine, and it will give you this list of information. So, yep, that's WordPress demonstration, or WP scan demonstration rather. JoomScan. JoomScan is an open source project developed with the aim of automating the task of vulnerability detection and reliability assurance in Joomla CMS deployments. So it is already pre-built on Kali machine. You can run it by executing the command JoomScan with an option -u and specify your target asset. There's also an alternative tool called Joomla. Okay. But for this demonstration, or for this tool, we will demonstrate in the next video the JoomScan tool only, and we will target a TryHackMe room called Daily Bugle. And see you on the next video. Okay, for JoomScan demonstration, we will be targeting a Joomla, vulnerable Joomla CMS on TryHackMe room called Daily Bugle. So I already connected. I am already connected to TryHackMe, and I already run the tool JoomScan. Okay, so to run the JoomScan, you just need to run the command JoomScan with an option -u and your target application. For this one, the Daily Bugle blog or the Joomla CMS website. So I already scanned it, as I mentioned earlier, and it detected that the Joomla version is 3.7.0. It also detected some directory listing. It detected the login page of the administrator. It also discovered the robots.txt file and other interesting path found from robots.txt. It actually tried to detect backup files, error logs, and config files, but nowhere to found. So here, since the Joomla CMS application is saying that it is version 3.7.0, you can search for potential vulnerability affecting the version of Joomla. So that's the main function of JoomScan. Give you enough details about the Joomla target website, and it could give you the list of plugins. It could give you the list of admin or directories or the version of the Joomla itself. So we executed searchploit. Searchploit is another tool pre-installed in Kali machine that will help you to search for potential exploit. Okay, so we search for Joomla 3.7.0 on searchploit, and we found that there's a vulnerability in comms field, which is SQL injection, and it is affecting version 3.7.0 of Joomla. And if we go back to the TryHackMe room, it mentioned here that compromise a Joomla CMS account via SQL injection. So it is the exploit needed to compromise the target Joomla CMS application. So that's the basic usage of JoomScan. But if you would like to know more about this tool, you can execute JoomScan-H, and it will give you the list of options that you could use. So that's it. That's the JoomScan demonstration. DrupScan. DrupScan is a plugin-based scanner that aids security researchers in identifying issues in Drupal installations. You can install the DrupScan tool by cloning the tool via GitHub repository and installing its requirements. And you can run it by calling the tool DrupScan and specifying the option scan with -u option and your target asset. There is also an alternative tool called Drupon. So Drupon is created by Immunit or Immune IT. In the next video, we will demonstrate DrupScan. Okay, for DrupScan demonstration, we will be targeting the website of HackerOne. So HackerOne has a public bug bounty program They allow external users to look for vulnerabilities on their website, but if ever you found a potential vulnerability, you just need to report it to their bug bounty program. So here we have HackerOne.com, and we need a Drupal application so that we can use it for our DrupScan tool. So if you still remember built with, we can check the software technologies being used to develop the application or the domain, which is, for example, for this one, HackerOne.com. And I already used built with, and by scrolling it down, we can see here that this website is built with Drupal. Okay, that's here, Drupal. So we can use this website as an example and for us to check how to properly use DrupScan. So here, I already executed the tool DrupScan with the following command. So DrupScan, scan the Drupal and the option -u, which means URL, and our target website, which is HackerOne.com. So that's the main command for the tool. So it took me some time to finish the whole process, but it actually tries to identify every plugins or modules connected or being used on the target application. So it detected C2s, token, path auto, libraries, and many more. Scrolling down below, we can also see the possible version of HackerOne's Drupal CMS. And we also see here the potential possible default login for admin page. But I guess any users can actually log in on this link. So if you want to know more, if you would like to get more information about this tool, you can just run this command drupscan scan -- help, and it will give you the list of options that you can use to scan and gather information about your target application. So you can also use Joomla, Moodle, Silverstripe, and WordPress. Here, okay, if I scroll up, as you can see here, I use Drupal for DrupScan because DrupScan is mainly for Drupal CMS, but you can also use it for other CMS. Okay, so yep, that's it. DrupScan will try to enumerate plugins, will try to identify the possible Drupal version or CMS version and its login page. So basically, that's DrupScan. CMSIC. CMSIC is a tool for detection and exploitation. It can scan over 180 CMS, including WordPress, Joomla, and Drupal. You can clone the tool by following the installation steps on this slide. In the next video, I will demonstrate you how to use CMSIC. CMSIC. CMSIC is a tool for detection and exploitation. It can scan over 180 CMS, including WordPress, Joomla, and Drupal. You can clone the tool by following the installation steps on this slide. In the next video, I will demonstrate you how to use CMSIC. Nuclei. Nuclei is used to send requests across targets based on a template, leading to 0 false positives and providing fast scanning on large number of hosts. Nuclei offers scanning for a variety of protocols including TCP, DNS, HTTP, and etc. With powerful and flexible templating, all kinds of security checks can be modeled with Nuclei. Nuclei is also a community-powered tool. So there are a lot of security researchers contributing their findings and including it to the Nuclei tool by creating a template. So you can follow the installation steps on this slide, and in the next video, I will demonstrate to you how to use nuclei. Nuclei demonstration. For nuclei demonstration, we will be using the following commands. So we will try to execute the default command execution for nuclei tool, which is nuclei-u, and the target application, which means for this command, it will execute all the templates, okay, for nuclei. For the second one, we can specify a specific template directory. So it will be more faster than the default one, because we will only check for exposures templates. Then we can also use filtering, which is for this one, we added -- tags, which is a filter for nuclei tool. We can also use a workflow with filters. So the workflow is we will check for a WordPress instance, which is the example.com for this slide example. And we can also add an additional filters like severity. Okay, so if you would like to know more about this tool, you can visit the repository for nuclei templates created by Project Discovery. You can also check the guide on how to use the nuclei tool. So for this demonstration, we will target the same application we used for WP Scan, which is the damn vulnerable WordPress. So I already executed all the commands. So for this one, this is the default command, which executes all the templates for nuclei tool. So as you can see here, once you run the command, which is this one, it will now check everything about this, our target application. It detected the software technologies being used. The nuclei tool also fingerprinted the website, which is a WordPress, as you can see here, and here. And it also detected some vulnerabilities like WordPress Infinite WP auth bypass, which is critical. It also detected the adminer installed on the application. It also detected all the headers implemented on the application. It also detected some vulnerabilities here. Okay. And the files are also being detected. PHP info, the license file, the XML RPC file. So this is the default command for running a nuclei tool. Now, if you don't want to run all the templates of nuclei, you can specify the specific template directory by adding the option -t, which means template. So nuclei-u URL and our target website, -t for template and the target template directory. So here, by using this specific template directory, it only returned the exposures of files. So here, we detected a dump of SQL database. We detected the PHP information file. Now, aside from that, we can also use filters for nuclei. So for filters, we use the filter called -tags. So for -tags, we can specify the CVE for this example. So again, we are targeting the same application. We added the tags filter, targeting the potential CVEs for the target application, and it actually found one CVE for our target application, which is CVE 2017-5487, and that's it. And you can look up for more information on this one by doing some research on Google, I guess. And lastly, we can also use workflow for nuclei with additional filters. So nuclei-w workflows for WordPress, because here we detected that this is a WordPress application. So we can use the workflow for WordPress, and we can add additional filter called severity, and add critical, high, medium, and low values for the option severity or filter severity. Then we can specify our target application. And here it detected, or it returned rather, WordPress Infinite WP auth bypass, which is critical, and the CVE that we found in the previous command, which is also a vulnerability, and it detected medium because we are filtering the severity only. So critical and medium. So that's it. That's Nuclei. And if you want to know more about this tool, you can actually visit the guide and templates. So that's it. Introduction to Burp Suite. Burp Suite is an application written in Java developed by Portswigger, which contain a variety of hacking tools. That is why others call it as Swiss Army knife of application security. This tool is also considered as a standard tool for testing the security of website applications, and there are three edition for this tool. So the community, which is the free version; professional is the affordable version of this tool, which costs $399 only for annual subscription; and lastly, the enterprise edition for bigger companies. So Burp Suite released a burp testing methodologies following the OWASP testing guidelines. So you can use Burp Suite when testing or trying to follow the OWASP testing guidelines. So Burp Suite contains various tools as well, performing different tasks. The tools operate effectively together, and you can pass interesting requests between tools as your work progresses to carry out different actions. So on this slide, you can see here the header of the tool. So basically, these are the tools: the dashboard, target, proxy, intruder, repeater, sequencer, decoder, comparer, logger, extender, and many more. So let's go over to the next slide, which is Burp Suite tools. So the different tools included in Burp Suite can be easily distinguished because of their name. So for the first one is Target. So this tool allows to aggregate all web application resources, like mapping the whole application. This tool can also help you include a target to the scope or exclude a target from the scope to filter the traffic you are receiving in the Burp Suite tool. You can watch the demonstration of this tool by going or clicking this link. So I will provide the PDF after this video. So I don't want to demonstrate it to you because Burp Suite or Portswigger itself released the proper demonstration for this tools. So the next tool is Proxy. Proxy, it is a core component of the tool which allows to intercept and modify all web traffic. It also has the HTTP history tab where you can observe and read the raw request. You can also watch the video of their demonstration by clicking the watch video here on this slide. For Intruder, Burp Intruder allows to customize and automate web requests. Repeating multiple times the same request with different content allows to perform fuzzing or brute forcing. So web fuzzing typically consists of sending unexpected inputs to the target application. This process may help to identify potential security flaws. So Intruder is also being used for brute forcing and other kind of fuzzing stuff. Then the next tool is Repeater. Repeater is a simple yet powerful tool that can be used to manually modify and reissue web requests. So you don't have to perform the steps that you need to perform from the very start in your browser, in your target application. So in Repeater, you will just capture the specific request and replay it anytime. Then the next tool is Decoder. Decoder allows you to encode and decode data using multiple encoding schemes. For example, URL encode, base64 for common hash and functions. So that's for Decoder. For Extender, Scanner, and Collaborator tools, those three tools are only available for Professional Edition. So it's not available for community or free edition. So for Extender, you can actually integrate more external or third-party scripts or codes that you can use for your Burp Suite tool. You can also install other tools developed by the community. For the Scanner, It is a built-in web vulnerability scanner that you can use to identify low-hanging fruits in your target application. Collaborator tool is a server on Burp Suite that runs on the public web, and you can use it for vulnerabilities like server-side request forgery, etc. And you can watch all of this by clicking the watch video or how to use it. Then you can also watch the official demonstration of each tools by this link. So that's for Burp Suite.